Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports, and we're here at Central High School with the head coach. They're just coming off a big win, winning the district championship. Coach Robin Lucas. Hey, Coach, how's it feel to bring the big win home to Central?
It feels amazing. You know, I've been on a high for the past 48 hours. It doesn't seem real. It's surreal.
Talk about the season. That's what
Yeah.
talk about the season from the beginning of the season. Your journey to this. To me, it's an epic win for Central, and not just for Central, for the IL in general.
I think everyone knows the tradition that Central has had in terms of basketball and athletics in general, and for us to be able to be the team to bring it back, so to speak, is truly a blessing that I'm not sure.
This is your first season at Central. How did you feel your season would end, or that would culminate to this part from your first games? Because you've been on the show maybe two or three times. Talk about that.
Well, I knew he had talent, but I wasn't sure if everything would fit right, if the ball would bounce correctly, fall. It just everything just happened the way it was supposed to happen. The kids bought in.
Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. Yeah, about the kids, your coaching staff, and so forth. From my point of view, I've been here since '78. Been covering the IL for a long time, and the guys that are in my age group and just a little younger, it was yesteryear, with the IL. It was always yesteryear. Remember Peeler, remember this one, remember that one, and remember those games. And you can't play today's game with yesterday's score.
Correct.
And you done brought it home. I'm talking about HOME for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I just want you to try to describe what that journey was like, especially the losses and how the team rebound from what did the coaching staff and your managers, the whole shebang.
It was.
And the administration.
Yeah,
having a good administration behind it.
Administration was key. They were hands off. They allowed me to teach, coach, and instruct. Gym time was never a problem. If we wanted to practice on Saturdays, we could practice on Saturdays. If we wanted to practice on Sundays, we could practice on Sundays. If whatever I needed, they provided, and the kids, in terms of our schedule, we probably had the toughest schedule for a 3A school probably in the state, and I'm not sure if people understand that.
Run that down to
we played out of the before district started. Out of the 24 games we played, 18 of them was against 4A schools or better. We're a 3A, and I think people
don't know
look. They look
to
they
HBCU
correct.
LSU.
Correct. And people look at Central and say, well, how is Central 3A? Well, we only have 420 students here. And I think people look back to yesteryear and say, well, they had 1,500. Well, now because of all the charter schools, University Academy, Kaufman, they take away from the interscholastic league in terms of student population. And that amounts to something, because without the charter schools, Stevie probably goes to Central.
Right. That's right.
That's
right. On this point, because we're getting ready to create a high school baseball talk show, and when I was talking to some of the coaches about Lincoln Prep, all right, and that goes across the board in all the sports, they're like, well, Lincoln has good squads because their kids are all eligible. How hard has that been for you and Central to have your talent and have them be able to play because they're eligible?
Well, I tell the kids all the time, let's just make basketball basketball. rather than having outside distractions, whether it's, you getting into it with a teacher, whether it's you, not getting the grades, doing the things you're supposed to do inside of the classroom. Let's just make sure that basketball is just basketball. And once we did that, we've been very, very successful. We're 22-6, and out of those 6 losses, 6 of them were because we allowed outside influences to dictate how we play. And once we understood that we're in control of how we perform on the court and off the court, we've been.
Has that been a challenge for you? You're working with a lot of urban core youth. I come from the urban core. I don't know about yourself. Those are challenges in itself. We just did an interview with the mayor, and he was talking about the challenges and the opportunities that are here for our kids in the urban core.
I tell the kids all the time, my father went to Lincoln. My mother was homecoming queen at Central. She graduated in 1979. But one thing that both of them never did was make excuses. They never made excuses.
My thing is excuses are tools of incompetence.
They are. And once our kids understand and realize that they truly have resources, whether it's administration that want to help them, whether it's their coaches that want to help them, whether it's, whomever, you have the resources. Do you want to reach out to them and allow these people to help you?
A lot of times, this was what my late brother-in-law, he always would say, he's willing to help, but you got to be willing to help yourself. And you talked about the buy-in into your program. Obviously, they've bought into your program. What kind of work ethic do your kids have?
Tremendous. That your best ability is availability, and whether if they, have to watch the little brother, watch the little sister, excuses don't be made. They'll bring their sisters and brother to practice. They'll bring them to a game. They know that practice is on Saturday at 10. If you have to work, they reschedule their work to outside of practice.
That's a very hard thing to do. In my business in general, and I've been around a minute, I always tell people, you can tell me anything, but you make time for what's important to you.
That is correct.
It's like you see a guy, one of your old classmates, haven't seen him in a year. Hey, man, I just haven't had the time to call you. No, you just didn't call.
That's correct.
And so how do you feel about the pride and what kind of accolades and praise have you received since you all won this district championship?
It's been tremendous, but it doesn't happen without, these kids here, This is all about them. It's never been about me. I've been telling them that since day one. But as much success as we're going to get, the more winning we keep doing, the more eyeballs is going to be on you.
How important, tell our audience, look into the camera and tell our audience, how important has your coaching staff and your team managers, some of the, most of the time it goes to the head coach, the head star of the program. How much have they meant for you and your program?
I tell everyone this, I literally have a cheat code. I have a Hall of Fame coach that's my assistant coach. I'm not sure if that's ever can be said.
Let me know who that is.
Gil Hanlon. Gil Hanlon was my coach when I played at Blue Springs South. I was all-state, and me and him bumped heads. We had arguments. We fought like father and son. I tell him this all the time. He knows that. He was like, literally like my second father. Literally would pick me up for school. He would take me to camps every summer and just go to Butler.
Tell me this. Come on in the frame, Coach. How valuable was it with you coming from a coaching family and having Gil as a mentor?
Just words can't express it. It's just for just his expertise, his understanding. The value of him just being around and his voice and his words of encouragement. constructive criticism, whether it was to me as a coach, to the players, my father, also being around my uncle. I mean, they
Your
come,
whole
they
family is
come.
tight
Yeah,
on,
it
on,
just,
on this basketball thing.
it's just it's been a tremendous ride, and I couldn't honestly
All
be
right.
more proud.
I'm going to go in a different direction
Mm-hmm.
with this administration because the Soup, he plays ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it was I didn't even know this until the last interview that I did with him at the field house. He was saying that he comes over and plays on Saturday
That's
with
correct.
the kids.
That's correct. He comes over every Saturday and plays and dominates.
He told me he had some game, like he would take
does.
me to the hoop. He got some game.
He can really truly play. He's athletic. He's quick. He's fast. He can shoot it. But he's also disciplined at the same time. He doesn't do nothing that he can't do. He plays within the game.
How do you think having an athletic-minded superintendent has helped Central's program and IL programs in general?
Tremendously. Him understanding the value of sports and where sports can take, these student athletes cannot be understated. And I hope, and going forward that we just can continue to excel.
All right, let's get down to the meat and potatoes now. Sunday we interviewed University Academy, one of their players, their assistant coach and their head coach, and we talked about this upcoming matchup tomorrow, what that was going to look like, what style of play, and so forth. So how do you see that matchup unfolding?
Just going to be a bunch of athletes out there that can get up and down, guys that can actually shoot, guys that understand the basketball game, guys that, going to dive on the floor, get 50-50 loose balls, but play with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. Two well-coached teams. And
how would you characterize your team as a running gun, a defense, or what? Tell our audience a little what to be looking forward to.
It just depends on how the game is being played. If we want to get up and down, we'll get up and down. If we want to slow it down and pound it inside, we'll do that.
If big men to pound it inside.
We have bigs to pound it inside. We got guards that can shoot it and spread you out. So it honestly just is going to be dependent on how the game is being played.
Would they have one of the number one players in the city, possibly in the state? Do you have anything rigged up, especially to hold him down? Did you see that last minute shot that he made?
I was there.
Oh, you was there?
I was there.
Scouting, doing your job. I love it.
Yeah, I was there.
Listen, as I told Nodi, I knew that they had a good team, and when they said they won the district, because I really don't follow it like I should, I was like, all right, they beat some people, but I didn't know that they were down.
Right.
And 7 seconds to go, they scored 7 points. And when I seen that unbelievable half-court shot, I was saying, this kid, Nodi had asked me to come out and do some things on him, but all my kids are my kids in the urban core, so I wasn't going to do nothing really special on him, but I thought he was well deserving of the accolades.
Yep.
So tell me, has any of the kids on this squad received any special accolades from the awards community?
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Fortune, Deontay Morton, first team all district.
Oh, all right. All right.
And
all right.
They're two of the best guards in the city as a combination. And when you throw in Clavon Duncan, who certainly should be receiving more praise than he's gotten.
What grade is he in?
He's a senior.
Oh, senior.
Right. Jordan Fortune is a senior. Deontay Morton's only a junior. He's only going to get better. Yeah. Clavon's a senior. These guys, as a trio, there is not 3 guards better than them in the city.
All right.
In the city.
Let's touch on, because Cascade Sports, we call ourselves the Wave of the Future, and we'd like to give some Wave of the Future awards out. Who's your up and coming, your Wave of the Future for Central?
Deontay Morton, he's only a junior. Dante Summers is only a sophomore.
And what? Give me some positions. Give our audience some positions that they play.
Guard, you know. DeJuan Norton, he's a forward. He's 6'4", 6'5", you know. So the future is bright at Central, very bright. So this is not a one-year thing. This is something that I can see us, honestly, for the next 2-3 years being in the same position in terms of success.
So you just plan to reload?
Reload. We don't rebuild. We reload at Central.
All right. Hey, Coach, it was a pleasure having you on the show, and we wish you the best of luck tomorrow night.
The program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.